Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Shai, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. Let's scroll this up. I'm just gonna go into basically what's just a little article here, man, which is just going into basically race riots, man. They've been amping up since in the UK since the Manchester attacks, man, and you can see they've been building up, man, because more or less all these it's the same thing with Brexit. Man. After Brexit happened, there was those like the little race riots, little attacks on these Muslims, and that's basically something that's been you've seen building up amongst various other things in the UK, man. They had like in the UK right now, because of the back-to-back attacks that they've been getting out here, man. More or less, if you're on them boards, whenever these attacks go down, people have been getting basically just getting on, just like, yeah, we need to get these Muslims out of there, all this. It's like, yeah, why can't we just deal with a fucking solution and get them all out of this fucking country, all that kind of shit over here, man. So that's exactly in line with the plans of the elites, man, because them race riots are part of the chaos that they're producing, man. On top of having all these faggots out there, on top of having women able to walk around with their booty cheeks showing, that and their titties out on the street. That's part of the chaos that the elites want to produce. So when they come with their new world order and the chip and martial law, people eat it up, man. What was it? Let me do. It's the title. It's on Al Jazeera. It says the title is UK Police Anti-Muslim Crimes Skyrocket in Manchester, and it says Manchester Police records more than 500% increase in Islamophobic crimes since May 22nd. And it's Islamophobic, but that's just going to spread, man, to us versus them kind of thing. Every nation is going to return onto their wrong, and then it's just going to go from them. Because like it says Islamophobic, but that's it. I'm like, that don't even matter. That's just the current times. Even with what was it, the Queen's speech, man. In the Queen's speech, she said we like basically about locking down the net was spoken about. She said we need to not give extremism a free place to build itself up, man. And if you go into like the little document they hand out about what do you call it, the little document they give alongside it, which goes into it a bit more detail. They said, yeah, we need to basically, it talks about we need to make sure the net's a safe place, start locking down, like, so that they can't get extremist videos on like YouTube, Facebook, that kind of stuff. And that basically that just sounds aimed completely at brothers, man, because brothers have been on the YouTube, and that's what the elites actually give a fuck about, man. This Islam thing, some BS. But they know the brothers being on the net, that's the most lethal threat to the rulership of Esau presently, man. And they want to get that done away and dealt with as swiftly as possible, man. So they're looking to bring in regulations to control that. And of course they're going to say, oh brothers, it's hate speech, this, that. And then they're looking to come up, they'll probably kick off some doors, man. Because it's like, even with what is it, man, the race wars. There was the attack in Finsbury Park. Even this one, they're saying he was radicalised. It's Darren Osborne geezer. It says this one's on the Guardian. It says Finsbury Park attack suspect was probably self-radicalised. It says officers saying where it's extended. It says the suspect in the Finsbury Park terrorist attack, which basically he just went outside a mosque, mounted the curb, and started basically doing burnouts in like the bodies of these fucking Muslims, innit? So that's basically just showing, that's more or less, that should show you already that the race war is done, kicked off, man. It says the investigation by Scotland Yard's counter-terrorism command continues, and imagine he did this and it's being counted as terrorism, man. So that means more or less soon it's going to get to the point where every crime that you do can just be counted as terrorism. Us going out in the street and saying America's going to be destroyed, that's going to be counted as terrorism, man. They're going to broaden these laws. It's like with the Patriot Act, man. Everyone can be seen as a terrorist, so they're just going to broaden the term of terrorist and then just apply it to everyone, so that they can just come and grab us up, know what you're doing is terrorism, want to hold you indefinitely, question brothers, put man to death, all that, man. Because that's in the scriptures. What does it say? It says the investigation carries it says it's been questioned. Detectives are trying to establish motives for the attack. The police are taking advice from lawyers of the Crime Prosecution, Counter-Terrorism Division about the scope of the investigation and what charges should be conditioned. He's believed to have acted alone, and the detectives are not seeking anyone else at this stage over the attack. Some people at the scene claim there was another van. Evidence has not been found. Thing is, it's probably this. There was another article as well. Let me see if I can find it, man. It said that the guy's, his sister said he had mental health issues, man. So then that means this guy could have he's an MK Ultra, man. He's MK Ultra just to go out and do this, just to keep the heat up, man. Because even though they did that sacrifice in Grenfell Tower, they wanted to keep the heat up. But anyway, let me go back to this because it's more about the race riots. That's all that is, just creating a amount, like just people is just building up pressure on the people, man, and making them just think, shit, is shit ever gonna go back to normal? Just madness happening left, right, and center, and then they're just gonna be like, look, they're gonna come, look, we'll bring in martial law, and there'll be order. And it's the same thing if you watch what is it, Handmaid's Tale? That's what he says. Like the girl said, what was it like before? And he said, no, it's terrible before. You wouldn't have liked it. It's better this way. That's because Esau wants that to be the mind state of the people, man, thinking, no, what we had before was awful. It's better to just live under the rule, take ship, and worship Rothschilds. It says the number of Islamophobic crimes recorded by Greater Manchester Police between May 22nd, 2016, the date of the attack, and June 19th was 224. This is a sharp increase from 37 in the same period last year. So that means that the attacks are going up, and that's the same thing with Brexit, man. That's going to continue. And seeing as the elites are keeping the heat on, that means that that's just going to build up, man. And with these attacks, let Jake be in one of these false flags, and then all that heat's just going to turn on Jake. Because the thing is, it's like with Brexit, that Brexit heat just went on everyone, any and everyone that weren't straight up white English, man. So it's going to be the exact same thing, man. Let me get a scripture, because hey, man, that's the coming times, man. The coming times is going to be on a scale that people aren't ready for, man. The thing is like mass destructions already happened, and mass judgments and mass chaos has happened in the past, man. There's been the previous world wars, societies have fallen, but this is going to be on an epic worldwide manic scale, man. A judgment that's never before been seen. Let me read this, man. In Daniel 12:1 says, and at a time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. So what's coming is a time of trouble that's never been seen before, man. And that's what people aren't ready for, man. Like right now, you got Jake's out there trying to pretend like none of this shit's happening, man. Just like Jake in the States are getting lambasted in the face, and the majority of them are just like, well, you know, that's terrible and that. But they're just trying to make some dollars and some bucks and live a good life, man. They don't realize there's like waiting in the wings is a judgment more terrible than anything that's ever gone down previously, man. And it says, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, and everyone that shall be found written in the book. So only those that have written the book are the ones that are gonna get saved out of this, man. A lot of Jake, 2/3 of Jake, they're gonna have to get wiped off the face of the earth, man. Because a lot of these guys out here, they're not down basically for the Bible, not down for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And they want this place to go on, man. They want to ride for the white man and keep this place going. And that's just complete BS, man. All of that is just if you're investing in this society, if you believe in this society, man, then you need to get taken out for your own good, man. And it says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And well, I'll home in on that shame and everlasting contempt, because that's what a lot of these guys are gonna have, man. A lot of these guys out here now, hey man, when it comes into the kingdom, they're gonna know like, wow, I wasn't even riding out with Yahushua and with the prophets, man. I wasn't even riding out for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. I was just out there doing like Jay-Z's. Kanye West, some guys that sold out and took deals, they're gonna know, and they're gonna have to deal with that shame for eternity, man. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. So the men of Israel that stood firm for the word, for Yahweh Hashem Yahshua's name, and for and basically condemn this place, they're the ones that are going to receive like that acclaim and that status and that level of being on that top level, man. And that's what you gotta be riding out for, man. Right now, you got niggas in the world trying to ride out for that out here, when you can't even any kind of fame or acclaim you get. It's temporary, man. Look at Bill Cosby, man. That guy was the king. He was the king of Judah, like back during his time. And now he's being lambasted and destroyed and fucking nuclear bombed in the press, man. Over these what do you call it, man? Child abuse, child sex abuse charges. And hey, man, that's how easily Esau can flip it on you, man. If you don't like what you're doing, you can get you whacked, or you can just get you destroyed in the media, man. So that's why anything out here that if you're really riding for this as a Jake, then you're joking, man. Then you don't really know what time it is. You don't really know what's going on, and the Most High is gonna have a rude awakening prepared for you, man. I'll leave it there, man. I'll say all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Double and the apostles, that always a great millstone, man. And Shalom.